Last night, we first told you about an incident south of Kingsville involving some of those Haitian migrants. Homeland Security was taking a group of them by bus to Brownsville when there was some sort of revolt on board the bus.
The Claiborne County Sheriff told 3 News that the migrants fought with agents, forced the bus to stop, and then escaped. Well, tonight, our Michael Gibson has images and video of the incident itself, something state leaders brought to Governor Abbott's attention during that border press conference.
We saw something yesterday that we knew was going to happen.
Brandon Judd is the president of the National Border Patrol Council. The union head was here in Del Rio at this news conference with Governor Abbott, spotlighting the Haitian migrant crisis there.
If you are targeting Texas to come to, we're going to show up in force and shut down the border.
But as you heard, Brandon Judd began talking about an incident we first told you about on 3 News Monday night. We learned that a busload of Haitian migrants were being sent from Del Rio to Brownsville. When the bus was 25 miles south of Kingsville on Highway 77, the migrants began fighting with federal agents to get off that bus.
When those people that were in buses south of Kingsville, Texas, when they found out that they were going to be sent back to Haiti, they took the bus over and they fled.
Claiborne County Sheriff Richard Kirkpatrick was one of a number of lawmen who showed up to the scene to help out the agents.
These illegal migrants assaulted the federal agents on the bus and somehow several of them managed to escape custody for a brief moment in time. And agents then had to chase them down, again, get in another scuffle on the side of the road with these individuals to try to detain them.
We spoke with one woman who had sent in photos and video of the bus incident to 3 News. She didn't want to be identified, but she did agree to speak with us about the situation.
It's scary because it's not going to get any better. It doesn't seem that it's going to get any better anytime soon.
During the governor's news conference, it was disclosed that there are still some 8,600 Haitian migrants at the Del Rio border. It's unclear if Homeland Security will continue to bus any more of those folks from that city to Brownsville after what happened here south of Kingsville on Monday evening. Michael Gibson, 3 News.
3 News did contact Border Patrol about this incident, and this was their statement. This request would need to go to ICE Public Affairs Office as it was their bus. They continue to say the individuals were not in Border Patrol custody. 3 News also reached out to the Department of Homeland Security, but they did not agree to an interview. Another group of migrants who did not come from the bridge in Del Rio passed through San Antonio's airport on Sunday. The group of about 400 are mostly Haitian, but they will not be expelled. They're being flown across the country to host families who will care for them as they seek asylum here in the U.S. Experts say many Haitians have been desperate to get out of their country since the 2010 earthquake. Some found work in South America, but those jobs all but disappeared during the pandemic.
That desperation seen in the Haitian migrants trying to cross the border, partly due to a recent earthquake that destroyed or damaged nearly 130,000 homes.
Haiti's president was also assassinated earlier this year, you may remember. Our State Department recently issued a travel advisory telling Americans not to visit Haiti because of the civil unrest, crime, and COVID-19. Eddie Canales, a South Texas immigrant rights activist, says those Haitians acted in desperation because they're fearful of returning to their country.
Now, Canales believes the Haitian migrants at our state's border should be welcomed into the country and not deported back to Haiti.
There needs to be, immediate humanitarian parole given to the Haitians in this country, and as temporary protected status or as refugees, and figure out what's going on. And did any actions take place into Haiti to keep people from leaving, in terms of relief after the earthquake? I doubt it very much.
Now, the U.S. did commit to send $32 million for Haiti earthquake relief, but the United Nations says a total of $200 million is needed. As far as those Haitians at the border, Canales feels that their asylum claims should be heard instead of having them placed on a plane flown back to Haiti.